on this podcast, whether you're a viewer, whether you're my co-host, I need you to now refer to me as champ. Not my government name, Caleb Newman. Refer to me as champ, Sir Caleb Newman. Because the Lakers and LeBron James, we are now champions. Many of y'all may not know, but I am champion.
Done it 4 times already. We don't need to get this little spiel again. It may be the first time on the podcast, but this is about like the 3rd time I've heard this.
But we're going to do it every single time the greatest basketball player that has ever set foot on this planet that we love to call Earth wins a championship. LeBron James, the man to the left of me, was predicting Heat in 6.
Heat in 7.
Heat in 7, that, okay.
Excuse you.
Well, whether it was 6, 7, 11, whatever prediction you were going to make about the Miami Heat winning an NBA Finals against LeBron James was just way off base.
This coming from a Florida man himself. Have you no shame?
I'm a Florida man wearing a New York hat, and I love LeBron James.
Dude,
it doesn't matter.
No boundaries.
I have no boundaries. I am limitless, just as LeBron James is. And you know what? We're just going to keep winning championships every year. So, 365 days from now, y'all will be hearing me talking about LeBron James winning another championship, another one, and another one.
Hey, give us a goat squeal for LeBron.
That, because he's GOAT. He's GOAT. You already know, man. Well, if you're not too sure, if it wasn't made clear, and if you were, quite frankly, just out of the loop, the Los Angeles Lakers and their stars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, have brought Los Angeles their 17th championship.
You forgetting the glue of the team.
Who's the glue?
Caruso.
Caw! The Eagle, man. Yeah, Alex Caruso.
Demon.
Yeah, man. But we looked great out there. And we don't actually talk too much about sports on this podcast. I don't know how much the viewers like listening about sports, but
maybe we'll squeeze in a couple sports takes here and there.
Yeah, man. But, there's not too much else needs to be said. We already knew LeBron was the greatest player ever, and he just won us another championship. So, without further ado.
Episode 6. Let's get it on.
Episode 6, baby.
Oh,
Let's
my bad.
Go.
If you're on YouTube, you already see how I'm coming.
Oh, yeah.
Hats off to you.
Right now, Emery's wearing a fedora. We wanted to be a little sexy today on the podcast.
Had to match his vibes. He came in with the hat. Had to show off my cool hats.
Got my little plaid pants on, just a basic tee with the hat. But I think we look good today, man. I think we're ready to take this episode on. So
let's get to rolling. This one's a doozy.
Serious news. Me and Emery need to get our mouths ready because we got another big topic ahead. So we talk about many different things. Today we're talking about big tech and Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, he left his laptop at a repair shop in Delaware. Don't know why he was in Delaware. Probably because they have that good. But that was insensitive. I'm sorry. He left. We're probably gonna have to edit that out. He left his laptop on a repair shop in Delaware, where the laptop was flooded with pictures of him doing drugs, having sex with other people, and also some sensitive emails that may have revealed collusion with a Ukraine energy company named Burisma and China. More specifically, he got a $1.5 million investment deal from the Chinese government, $3.5 million wire from the richest woman in China. But I think the general public already knew that Hunter Biden was doing some sketchy stuff, whether you believe it or not. We knew these stories were out. He used his father and his family name as like a means to get by. So I guess that's a bit of nepotism, but it's also collusion. So that was the original story, and we probably weren't going to talk about that on this podcast if this didn't happen.
I'm finding a trend where these people in positions of power, well, not Hunter Biden specifically, or related to people in positions of power, are so careless.
Oh, gosh.
How could you leave a laptop with this gold mine of data involving you, yourself?
His own data.
In Delaware, in a repair shop. You're just going on with your day, and yet something that could ruin your entire life, ruin your family's life. I'm not sure if he was high.
Well,
Perhaps that's why.
Apparently, he forgot because he went to rehab. Like later on, like
It's
a few days
unbelievable,
later.
man.
The guy that exposed Biden sent this news to the New York Post. He saved all of Hunter Biden's data on a hard drive. So like, this is a whole weird situation. But are we ready to move on to why this story is a story?
I had to put just stupidity. All right, let's go.
So the reason why we're talking about this today, and the reason why I dubbed this topic the name of Big Tech, is that Facebook, once this story came out on the New York Post, and we know that articles and things get shared on numerous platforms, Facebook, who owns WhatsApp, owns Instagram, and owns its own platform, Facebook, they came out and said that they were going to slow down the sharing of this information because it was subject to fact checking or whatever. And then Twitter came out and all out blocked the sharing of New York Post. So whenever you tweeted about the story or whenever you mentioned Hunter Biden, whenever you put the link in there, they straight blocked the URL of your tweet. They didn't allow the tweet to come out. They didn't allow other people to see the tweet. So the main issue here shows that that these social media platforms, they have pull within our public perception and our knowledge. I mean, I have the stat right here. 4 out of 10 Americans get their main base of knowledge, like about the world, from Facebook. That's 40% of Americans. That's absolutely crazy. That's millions and millions of people. And it just shows the amount of power that these companies have to warp the thinking of each and every individual American. So now it's like, well, if Facebook doesn't like something that's being put out, because they're supposed to be an open platform. Twitter's supposed to be an open platform. So if they don't like something being put out, they can just straight wipe it from the public view. Like, that's a lot of power, and that can lead to a lot of bad things.
Me personally, I'm sure I'm subject to a lot of misinformation I'm not even sure about because I don't go too in depth with it. But this case, Caleb sent it to me earlier today. And, like, I remember seeing it on Twitter, and I skimmed over it. But even then, it wasn't really covered much till what I had seen. And it got me to thinking, like, why? And then I realized, because the media that is important is being censored by the media that we take in.
Right.
So just all these social media platforms, and maybe it was covered on the news. I'm not sure if it was covered that extensively, maybe on a few different news broadcasts, but this is a groundbreaking story.
Absolutely.
And this isn't, maybe it's because it's during the election right now. Joe Biden, maybe those Democratic leaning news companies aren't going to cover something like this because it could tarnish what he's trying to build up right now, which is his reputation. And, but this is something that needs to be covered, and it was, in fact, done the opposite. It was censored.
Right. And, well, let's talk about this election and the political system. And you could possibly see this as election interference because, well, we're 19 days away from the election. People vote on the election day. Something like this being censored, even though it's not about Joe Biden, it's something related to him, it's something within his family. Something like this just being completely wiped from the face of the universe. Like, people don't really there are people that don't know about it just because Twitter and Facebook slowed down the dissemination of this content.
Exactly.
And I mean, the New York Post, whatever you think about it, I never really heard about that before this, but it's like it's an official editorial. Like, people, it's a source of knowledge for many people, and this type of censorship is absolutely crazy, man. And it leads you to believe, like, when this story came out, did the Democratic side like pay off these companies for an X sum of dollars to, get them to censor this story? And if that happened, does that mean that the right Republicans can do that as well?
And look what it got us doing. In a previous episode, we covered conspiracies and what that does to public knowledge. And at this point, like, when you're censoring these things, you're promoting conspiracies. So either the truth is too much for us to handle, and that could that could potentially be worse than any conspiracy that somebody throws out, but I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah.
So like, it's really, what do you want to get out there? Because not knowing is gonna get people to want to know, and then they're gonna say a bunch of outlandish things that could potentially ruin your reputation more than what actually occurred.
Right.
So.
And I don't believe, like, because you know what? It's all possible that the government hides something because the truth isn't like it would make us go crazy or something. But I truly believe that this truth wouldn't have hurt anybody. Like I said, we wouldn't have talked about it if it was never censored.
I'm sure it's just because of the election and
Yeah,
the social climate right now.
Exactly. Like, this truth wouldn't have hurt. I mean, we know that we live in a pay-to-play world. We know that people in families of power use their family name to do collusion or quasi-collusion type things. And, you know, we know that there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes, lots of money movement. So this really wouldn't have been that bad of a thing. But the absolute biggest thing here is that the fact that these social media companies have such a power to censor. Now, within the same realm, some technicalities within this, Section 230, which is basically the law infrastructure that states social media platforms aren't responsible for user-generated content. So whatever comes out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whether it hurts people or whatever, Facebook, the social media companies cannot be sued for what users put on that platform. But that is under the assumption that the social media platforms are open platforms in which anything that's not directly hurting somebody, like the anti-Semitism and the Holocaust, like I guess the Holocaust doubt, like that stuff got censored.
Yep.
People understand that. But something like this where it's purely informational and it's not attacking somebody, it's not hurting a demographic of people, those should be allowed to come out, because once you choose sides, once you start censoring things based off of things you don't like or based off of pressures from certain parties, it's an abuse of power.
Simply.
So under that, but you are allowed to do that. You're just not allowed to be a platform. When you do that, you move from a platform to a publishing company. So once they're publishing companies or once they're publishers, Section 230 is now null and void, and they are able to be sued for the content on their publishing page. The same reason why because like the New York Post, if all this stuff about Hunter Biden was wrong, and let me make this clear, the Biden family did not come out and say any of this was fake news. But if they deliberately put out fake news, they can be sued for that because New York Post is a publishing company.
Now let's press the pause button. I'm not going to call us plebeians, because we are the enlightened brothers, you know, we're them boys.
Yeah.
We're the real dudes. But if we're plebeians compared to these publishing companies, or not publishing companies, but these social media companies. So it gets me thinking, their lawyers definitely knew that they would be subject to be sued based on their actions of censoring this Hunter Biden situation. So that means that it had to be at least important enough for them to take the downfall for this or some backlash. So maybe.
Oh, so what you're saying is like
maybe there's more than
meets the eye. Yeah, so you're saying that if the Hunter Biden story was allowed to be like fairly journalized, then they would have received. I don't know though.
Is this information that would have got out worth enough for them to catch a case over?
No. I don't believe so. I believe that we know, like we everybody knows about Hunter Biden and what he does and what he's been on. And I mean, some people may just now be learning that government officials in their family make like behind the door deals with, a Ukraine electric company and whatever, and the Chinese government, like. That collusion does make people raise an eyebrow. Is definitely not good. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't think this is worth taking the hit for it. So people already there are millions and millions of people out there that don't like big monopolies in any shape or form. They don't like government. They don't like any type of aggregate of power. They don't like government. They don't like tech companies having this power. So this already just takes away from the, public faith in things such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but it's also like it makes me think it's just absolutely crazy where this thing has been taken. Because I mean, when Mark Zuckerberg came up with this thing with his friends in his Harvard dorm room, it was originally just for something that enhanced connection, and
Ain't no way he thought he would believe that he would be. This is like extreme things, but have terrorist organizations using his company.
Yeah, I don't think he
People,
thought that either.
Major power, like
Having
arguably top 10 power in the world.
Yeah, more than top 10. I mean, having truthfully election poll, like the fact that we now know, and we talked about the social dilemma, and we're talking about this, that the social media platforms, they can truly sway an election.
You can really, truly argue that Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg himself, is more powerful than the president.
Yo, Zuck for president. Or
No.
Zuck is president.
Chill. I don't want no lizard on the board.
So we found another lizard man?
All right. I was talking bad on conspiracies, but you may not know I'm a closet conspiracizer myself. Conspiracizer.
Is Zuck isn't that wouldn't be a president. Zuck is like the supreme leader.
That would be letting an alien into office.
Oh God. Well, I don't know about all that, but it's absolutely.
Bro,
and
maybe we have to edit this out. I'm not trying to go too early.
And I absolutely. Oh, wow. And I mean, his story, I absolutely envy. I want to come up with some world-changing idea. While I'm in, I mean, he did it while he was 19. So me 2 years from now, that would be absolutely amazing.
Exactly.
But how social media has evolved and what he's had to go through, I kind of sympathize with him for a little bit, because I mean, this is heavy stuff. Like whenever you come up with the company, you just think of operating with the company. Like when you're a boss, a CEO, you think you're the boss of yourself. Like you don't necessarily think about worrying about going to the White House and all that stuff. But his company got so big and has so much pull and influence in so many Americans that it's impossible for Facebook to not be involved with government at this point.
Global.
Right. I mean, globally. Twitter has officially put out their response. So they said that the hacked material, which is what they dubbed this whole situation, they said the hacked material policy has been updated. So they will no longer just wipe something from your screen, wipe something from the internet, wipe something from being allowed to be put out by just like blocking its URL. They will only do that if it's directly from a hacker group or something like that. But what they're now going to do is label posts. So now if everything that came out about Hunter Biden was labeled with subject to fact checking or something like that, what do you think that's going to do? Do you think that'll actually have an effect? Or
that will definitely have an effect. And
how
you know
so?
what's going to happen after that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is, I'm not going to call it small, but in the grand scheme of things, this fact checking will be small, but it's going to increase to everything that you post being categorized. You can already go on Twitter and see like you can already filter your tweets that you see from strangers through like sports, media, weather, and all of those. All of those things. And this is just gonna take every tweet and literally it's gonna move them to a box on the platform. And it's gonna go into user preference and everything. Mm-hmm. And like the only thing you're gonna be able to see is something based on what Twitter deems what genre it is. And I'm not sure this will take away from free speech, but it's definitely gonna be like there's not gonna be much room for flexibility on where whatever you're discussing is gonna be discussed.
This thing has really got me thinking, like, obviously money is important, but what social media has created and what business and like this whole like technological era we live in now, the money, you can make more money, but you cannot gain more time. And now I think the scarcity of time and I think the value of time, we live in like a time monetized era. So like we were talking about in the social dilemma, what these social media companies now want to do, regardless of what information is being put out there or what information isn't being put out there, they want to keep you on the screen for as long as possible. And I think that is the main issue. I mean, that's how they make their money. That's how people are able to pay them large sums for other people's data. But
let's not talk about the social aspects. Just being connected to your phone for a long time is bad enough. Your eyesight's gonna get ruined depending on how you use your phone. I slouch. Your back's gonna get ruined. I mean, not only is it gonna have physical effects in the long run for society, it's gonna be mentally draining. This cyberbullying is gonna become more of a problem. I mean, social media is a double-edged sword, man. But yeah, man, physically and mentally taxing. It's just a double-edged sword again. Either it can be used for something really great, as you can see with the censorship, something really bad. And it's getting us to be really pessimistic. We're thinking the worst of what social media could potentially be. And yeah, it's looking like it's going to be the worst. You remember, I think this was a couple years ago, they were going to start charging money to be on, to access specific websites.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm forgetting what it was called, but you were gonna get charged a certain fee to access a type of website, like streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and YouTube and all of those. And basically, you're just getting taxed for your usage of the internet.
Wow.
And it was unbelievable. I'm glad that a lot of people spoke out against it. I'm not sure if it's been completely set off the table or just delayed, but it was supposed to happen like a couple years ago, but I'm glad we don't have that now.
Yeah, I mean, this whole big tech thing is wild, bro. I want to shift a little bit to an optimistic point of view. Whenever certain topics like this come out, and I've noticed this with like a lot of people within our community, like everybody's forming this all world-ending pessimistic attitude.
Yep.
And frankly, I don't like it. I mean, there's not simple fixes, but there's certain fixes to things like this. Like if somebody says, oh, big tech's going to take over, big tech has all this influence in the presidential elections, like we're doomed. I don't say the word hate, but I absolutely despise hearing that word doomed because, well, if you don't want to get caught up in this whole social media information spectrum, don't be a part of the 40% of Americans that get their information from Facebook. Actually go out, read official articles. Well, I mean, we've also created sort of lazy people in the fact that they don't want to read. They want to read the parsed information that's placed on social media sites that is slightly misleading. So now we only have media that's right-leaning or left-leaning. So what you really need to do is go out and read all over, whether it's right or left. When I researched this, I read the Fox articles, I read the CNN, MSNBC articles, and I took all the information in, and I also tried to find moderate, nonpartisan modes of information. You got to go out and intake all the information to be able to form your perspective on the world.
What's crazy? You said 40% of Americans intake their media information from Facebook.
Yeah.
But really, that's much larger because Facebook is the parent company of companies like Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And
WhatsApp. Uber.
Uber for real?
I think so. Or somebody, either WhatsApp bought Uber or Uber
whatever,
bought
that's
WhatsApp.
That's not media anyway. But
I don't know. Yeah.
You know how many people, if they don't use a Facebook, have an Instagram?
Yeah.
If they don't Instagram, if they don't use Instagram or Facebook, use WhatsApp to connect with their families, and even on WhatsApp, they're getting sent news articles from their family and friends.
Oh yeah, that's
from
a
these
big
different Facebook and Instagram, wherever it's coming from.
Yeah,
and it's just so expansive. So even if you don't believe that your media is being influenced like by fake news on Facebook, chances are it is.
Oh, it is.
Because that's how far it's spread.
That's how the algorithm works.
That's how strong and big Facebook is as a company.
And if and a lot of y'all may also be against the artificial intelligence stuff, but if you want to fight the internet in general, go against the algorithm. How you beat the algorithm, and you don't necessarily beat the algorithm, but how you make it more difficult for the algorithm to narrow down your intake is to literally consume all the information, whether it's right, whether it's left, up or down, because I'm tired of saying right and left. I honestly, all of this partisan stuff just, in my opinion, creates division. And when I don't think intellect needs to be, obviously that's what makes money, that's what makes it fun, but and everybody has difference in opinion, but I feel like it should be the responsibility of the individual to and it should be the want to of the individual to consume a rounded base of knowledge. And then once you take knowledge from the right, left, up, and the down, everywhere in the middle, then you can lean one way or the other. But if you just intake information about the Democratic side and then call yourself a Democrat and then hate anybody who's a Republican, well, you're just narrow. You're just simply narrow.
And, one of these days, Caleb's going to be seeking knowledge and venture into the deep web or something. And I'm not going to be here for it because I don't want to get hit by a hitman. But, knowledge is power. And, yeah, man, I'm just saying I'm not going to be here because taking in from all aspects, let's just say the surface level of the internet is only a minuscule bit of what you will find out if you look deeper.
So what you're saying is the fact that people are limiting themselves knowledge-wise, or it's also keeping.
I'm not advocating anyone go on the deep
you're
web.
not advocating it, but I'm saying the people that are limited in their knowledge are also being kept safe, because if they start knowing everything, then you're saying the hitman's going to come and get them.
Yeah, basically. Let's not touch up too much on that.
That's interesting.
Let's move on.
Is that everything in big tech, man?
No, tech is very big.
Yeah, tech's big.
But we're not going to cover all of that on today's episode.
Yeah. Well, also one more piece of this, and I'll chop this up, by the way. But another piece of this is that many companies' revenue is purely based off of like their social media perspective. So, and this is why Facebook, Twitter, all of them are getting so rich and so powerful, is that if your revenue is purely predicated off how many people are viewing your product or whatever, you're going to pay the media company to, give us a little boost in the algorithm. And, if I give you $1 billion, maybe censor or push down in the algorithm this product. So that's also an interesting facet.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I only heard about half of that.
That means it's time to move on. Yeah, gosh, it's hard. It's honestly difficult to wrap my mind around this, because this is such an expansive topic, and it makes you look more into yourself, because it's hard. As I'm speaking, I'm also in the back of my mind thinking, like, is all the information I'm getting, is the information that I'm putting out to you guys, is that narrow? Am I also a cog in the system?
Let's just say yes, it is. And you know what that should make you do? Venture out. Look for more. Because at the end of the day, all the media that we're intaking and feeding to you is coming through one tube, when you can take that one tube and use it to make multiple tubes of information and intake those.
Oh, yeah, man. And to be honest, this isn't necessarily a scientific perspective, but I think the Enlightened brothers are immune to the algorithm. I think that our knowledge reigns supreme. I don't think that.
I'm going to use the one for the episode now.
Oh, God. Oh, my gosh. I should probably start editing these out. Oh, gosh. Dude has been eating strawberry applesauce this whole episode. Weirdo. All right, well,
I'm going to have to cut you off real quick. It's mixed berry. Carry on.
I never heard of mixed berry applesauce. Yeah, but that's what it is. That's what's going on in the big tech world. Basically, to end this subject, don't make social media your main source of
Media.
I mean, I don't think we probably don't have to touch on this subject many more because this is our third time talking about it. And by now, if you've been a faithful listener, I think, hopefully, I believe we've influenced you to go out and, just read a book. Go literally venture out and watch people and watch how the world, listen to other people, listen to anecdotes, and then find the truly just pure informational media, and then form your opinions off of that, man.
A little tangent. Reading.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read a lot. Not as much anymore. I know Caleb recently got back into it as well. Like a lot back into it more than he previously was into.
Yep.
But just breaking out of your old habits and routines is the only way to really improve. And I still need to work on it.
We all do, brother.
I'm going to. I say I'm going to. I'm probably going to delay it more. But, it's the thought that counts.
Awareness is truly the first step. And the more aware you are, the more you can edit your routines and habits. And each time you do the opposite because this isn't good for you, you're reinforcing another thing. And I talk about neuroplasticity, and I talk about neuroscience a lot, but the more you reinforce the habits of the good habits, the stronger those connections within your brain become. And then those reinforced habits become your habit. They become who you are.
It's really the butterfly effect. You won't know until you break out, do a new thing. That'll open up doors to places that you never really imagined.
Amen.
And life is an adventure. You just gotta seek it out, man.
Amen. Now we're gonna move on. I've actually introduced the last few topics, so now Emery, we are moving into his expertise, and he's gonna introduce this topic.
It's a plane. It's a bird. Oh, I need to flip that. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Hit it with me.
Yes, sir. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins the web anytime. Look out!
The Spider-Man.
So, absolutely the greatest superhero of all time.
It's coming in 3. The
trifecta. Explain to the people what's going on here, man.
All right, let's do this in chronological order. First and foremost, 2002, bam! First superhero feature film that really took off, directed by Sam Raimi himself. Spider-Man featuring Tobey Maguire.
Ooh, buddy.
Had an amazing sequel, arguably the best superhero film of all time. And then we don't talk about the third one.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't like Spider-Man 3?
Nah. You seen bruh
What?
turn goth, say it's pizza time, and start dancing? Anyway.
When he was walking down the street.
Anyway. Bam! The third movie wasn't too hot, so...
I disagree, but
whatever.
Move on. My favorite Spider-Man movie.
Then we got our second Spider-Man. We don't really talk about this one as a whole. I don't even know who it's directed by, but featuring Andrew Garfield.
It was kind of butt.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man series. That came in 2 movies, one featuring Jamie Foxx as a blue black man with a gap. Gap gang. Anyway, that had a sequel. Didn't really take off too hot. And then bam, bam, bam. Right now we got Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man 3, which is not yet released, the name. But that Spider-Man 3 is about to be hot. This third Spider-Man generation of films has introduced Tom Holland, which is, we'll get into this, the GOAT for me right now. Sorry, Tobey Maguire, but this third one's about to bring all 3 generations into a live-action Spider-Verse. And this is about to be hot, man. I cannot stress enough how hot this is going to be. And I'm not going to lie. I've been hit. Ask me what I've been hit by.
What have you been hit by?
Fake news.
What?
Because this hasn't been officially officially confirmed.
Ah.
But you know, the hype in me had to bring it to the podcast to talk
no.
about it. I've been hit by the disinformation, whatever you want to call it.
This fake news goes.
But there's a silver lining.
Okay.
Silver lining. You see what I did?
Oh my gosh, let's not talk about Silver Sable because that is my future wife. I will find Silver Sable. This fake news stuff, it goes beyond Emery just because we discussed what we're going to talk about in the podcast. And before I was like, oh, so is this Spider-Verse movie confirmed? He was like, yeah. This thing is confirmed. Now Cut hits the rope-a-dope on me, and he's over here. And I'm just thinking, oh, this Spider-Verse movie is going to happen. We're going to talk about it on the podcast. It's going to be amazing.
Let me get to the silver lining. Let me get to the silver lining.
Go ahead.
E.T. Canada, or Entertainment Canada. I was thinking like a little alien finger dude, but they reached out to a Sony, which is the producers for the Spider-Man films. They reached out to a Sony representative, and that Sony representative said that this is not yet confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
They did not say, no, this will not happen. And I really think they would have said that because this just promotes further spread of misinformation for the actors Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, which have never been yet involved in an MCU film. So I'm just thinking this is making them keep the surprise. They're keeping it in the back. Maybe it got leaked. I don't know how it got leaked, but, you know, it's basically a confirmation, but it's not confirmation.
Okay. Are these guys still young and, like, Sparky?
No, they're not young, but you know what they could do with Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
If you watch the Into the Spider-Verse film, which was the animated film featuring my black man, the Black King, Miles Morales himself. Now he's half Puerto Rican, but you know I love him. Regardless, that's my dog. You get in a game in less than a month from the day we're recording this.
Wait, but who? What are you saying about Tobey Maguire? Did he play Spider-Man in that film?
No, but if you recall, we had Peter B. Parker, which was an aged, experienced Spider-Man.
I was just thinking about that.
Now, Toby, he's not really old yet, but he's not a young buck either, and he can really come in be the Spider-Man that acts as a mentor figure to this Tom Holland, because at the end of the Far From Home film, we saw the universes merge. We got what's his name? Daily Bugle guy.
Oh, J. Jonah Jameson?
We got J. Jonah Jameson from the original Sam Raimi films to make an appearance.
Oh, so he wasn't even.
Film.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And that's basically confirming the joining of universes. So people have been speculating this happening for a while. But anyway, he could really act as a father figure toward Peter Parker. Can act as a father figure towards Peter Parker. Peter Parker. That's kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah, no, I mean that's absolutely great. And I mean, for our Marvel and superhero junkies out there, y'all know that there's so many different types of Spider-Man. It's not just these 3 movies. There's there's 3 different animations. Mm-hmm. I believe 4 or 3 or 4.
More than that.
Oh gosh, yeah, because you got the original one from the 80s.
That was the 60s, bro.
60s. That was 60s. Yeah, that was the 60s. Spider-Man and Friends was 60s.
No, there was one before that.
Oh,
the theme song that we were singing came from Spider-Man and Friends. I remember that. That was from the 60s. Oh, I'm tripping. The OG Spider-Man was like from the 50s or the 40s.
So we got that. We got Spider-Man and Friends. We got my all-time favorite animation of Spider-Man. It was like in 2001 or something. It's
Spectacular?
It's very underground. He was like a college student. The animation was kind of nasty.
Ultimate?
I don't even know the name. It was just my favorite animated Spider-Man. Well, my all-time favorite, but I have a new favorite. And then we have the newest one that's out right now. We have Ultimate Spider-Man that came out in 2011. We have one before. There's so many different Spider-Man animations. There's the comics. There's the movies. So do you want to go into favorite Spider-Man, like our ideal Spider-Man universe first, or do you want to go into best Spider-Man actor? Because I think we're
actor first, because we were really talking about the live actions just now.
Okay, so we'll do live action first.
All right, favorite and best. Maybe yours will be the same, but mine isn't. Favorite as of now, because from the nostalgia factor, I grew up with Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man trilogy film. So Tobey Maguire gotta be my favorite, man. Remember when he freaking got his uncle killed by going going to wrestle? What's that dude's name? Randy Savage.
Yeah,
Macho Man Randy Savage, man.
Macho Man.
But that's my favorite, dude. Oh, the train scene in Spider-Man 2, fighting Doc Ock.
Oh
And
yeah.
he had to stop the train with his feet. Woohoo! That was the best scene in movie history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm biased. But best Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
So
Gotta
so why is Tom Holland the best?
Because recently I've gotten into the comics because I don't know why I didn't before. I've loved Spider-Man so much for so long, but I guess it's because the Spider-Man PS4 game came out. Well, I'll talk about that a bit later, and that really got me invested in his story again, along with the this is just a decade and age of Spider-Man. Like, this dude made a real comeback.
Oh yeah.
Like, he never really been too down, but he got 2 feature films out. He got a whole video game. He got one coming in less than a month of his other iteration. Yeah, I started reading the comics, and I really got to see the more sciencey aspect of Peter Parker, and I also got to see more Peter Parker, other than Spider-Man, the persona itself. So I really think that Tom Holland captures both sides of the mask.
Okay. Yeah. So in the movie, live action wise, none of them really depict enough of the science aspect, the geek part of Peter Parker, as much as I like, because I guess that's just more relatable to the general public, because he's a geek until he gets bit by the spider, and then they don't show him doing science and stuff anymore. That's why I have a new favorite kind of Spider-Man, and we'll talk about that in our picture perfect Spider-Man universe. But my favorite, as well as who I think the best, is Tobey Maguire, man. Because for one, Tobey Maguire, he's just a fly. Oh gosh, don't want to curse. Tobey Maguire is just a fly dude. Like, we've seen him in Spider-Man. We've seen him in what's that movie, The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Great Gatsby.
Oh, Great Gatsby. That's what I meant. And then he's just a fly dude. I mean, I guess Emery said a lot of people didn't like Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3, that was actually my favorite Spider-Man movie.
For real?
Frankly. Yeah. I mean, when he came out, when he had the Venom, he came out all cool, was strolling down New York City, man.
That movie was filled to the brim, bro.
Doing his little bop. I thought that was good. The best scene, I don't know if this was Spider-Man 1, 2, or 3, but he came down out of nowhere, acting all cool at the parade, and then kissed.
3.
Yeah, he kissed Mary Jane. That was pretty fly. He was just a cool dude. I thought so. I mean, I just like the coolness that Tobey Maguire brought out. So if they're not going to show Spider-Man as being a super nerd, then I just will go with whoever shows to be the coolest. So yeah, I think I'll go with Tobey Maguire, man.
About that third movie, it was just filled to the brim, man. We had Sandman as a villain. We had Venom as a villain. And we had 2 villain origin stories in there. And we had Harry come in as the Green Goblin.
Oh, so you think it was just too much?
Three villains jam-packed into one movie.
Yeah.
And they really didn't get any much character development, or they were just there for him to fight.
I've never been a guy for character development. Like, I like quantity. When it comes to movies, for some reason, I just like quantity over quality.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're coming from that perspective, then it is a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
But not for me.
I agree.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, again, Tobey Maguire with that nostalgia factor, and he was cool, as you said, man. There's no superhero scene that will beat that iconic train fight with Dr. Octopus. But,
yeah.
As for the best Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure he'll kick Tobey Maguire out of the favorite position after this third film in a next year.
If Tom Holland comes with some more heat, then he could very well
Yeah,
cast
he's going
him.
to come with heat, but then again, maybe Andrew Garfield will come out of nowhere, pull some clutchness, and maybe move on to my list, because that dude just sitting in the middle of nowhere. He's not a bad actor.
You don't believe that. You don't believe it.
I don't.
Andrew Garfield's not in this race, bro.
I don't. He's not a bad actor.
Yeah.
But from that cool factor you're saying, this dude just too cool to be Peter Parker. He was just like
Yeah.
6 foot something.
Yeah, you can't
chiseled
be.
chin, bro.
You can't be that.
He wasn't even a nerd. They just gave him a script and said roll with it. He was a good actor, but trash story.
You got to be max 5'8" to be Peter Parker, bro.
Yeah, man.
And you can't be no tall, chiseled guy. I mean, Peter Parker, he was a nerd, bro. But I think.
Oh yeah. Tom Holland. I really like the guy. He's we're really getting the high school, like Spider-Man 1. It was like Peter Parker was in high school, but that was only for like half of the movie. Then he went off to college. He's still in high school for both of these movies in the MCU that we've gotten. So I think just like it's the relation factor probably.
Okay.
That makes him the best for me. We get to see Peter Parker young, struggling. For the tech aspect, yeah, he's more like science-y than the other two, but that's only because he got the help from Tony Stark, really.
Yeah.
Like he did make.
He does have better tech, yeah.
He did make his own web fluid, but we can't all attribute all of that to Peter himself.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a better cast in my opinion. We got Ned as his partner. It's kind of like Genki, who was Miles' partner in the comics in the Into the Spider-Verse movie. Mm-hmm. Well, not yet. But in the sequel.
Yeah.
But yeah, just cast relatability and like the growth that we're seeing of the characters pretty cool. Because back when these other movies came out, like I watched the movies, but I didn't really watch them. But now I really like understand where it's coming from, so that's probably a factor as well.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, I think let's move on into the our picture perfect Spidey universe. So I'll go first. Peter Parker, I like Peter Parker as a college student. I like him as nerdy as possible. I like him being the student slash like the not underling, but like Kurt Connors, his lab assistant. I like it when he's Kurt Connors' lab assistant. Him being in college, I already said that. I like the Gwen Stacy. I like Gwen Stacy over Mary Jane, just my preference. Not that it depends on how you make Gwen look, because they've made Gwen look like 4 or 5 different ways, and she looks completely different in the comics. But I don't know. It's just because Mary Jane, it's either or. But yeah, what else? What other differences is there in the Spider-Man universe?
I'm gonna help you trash Mary Jane real quick though, cause she is so wishy-washy with my dog Peter.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy.
How you gonna play him for a fiddle? Play him for a fool? He's Peter Parker.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy don't do all that. He doesn't do all that back and forth with Harry. I mean, she. Excuse me, she.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. But yeah, man. That's just my preference.
Yeah, automatically she's not even my top.
Yeah, so because there's also because you can have Peter Parker working as a lab assistant, or you can have Peter Parker working as a photographer. Mm-hmm. So,
and then well, your favorite iterations, what's it called? Ultimate, right?
Yes.
Not Ultimate. What's the name? It's just Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about the newest one out?
Yeah.
I think that's Spidey, because there's
Spidey?
Ultimate Amazing and there's Spidey. Which is I don't know. There's so many different things. My favorite Spider-Man currently right now is the new animation on Disney XD, because he's going to Horizon High.
That one is good.
And he's around a whole bunch of other tech geeks.
Oh, this one actually did Miles and Peter the same age, and they actually are classmates.
Yeah. Miles and Peter are classmates.
Pretty cool. They're tag teaming up. Well, speaking of tag teams, my favorite iteration of Spider-Man gotta be Spider-Man in the PS4 game.
Okay.
I gotta flex. Let me let you know I 100% completed, got every trophy for the main game, the DLCs, all 3, may I add you, and I got all of the secret suits.
So compare that to mine. So in your universe, Peter Parker is...
Well, in this universe, he's not as old as we seen Peter B. Parker in the Into the Spider-Verse. He's 23 or 22. So he's been Spider-Man for a little over a couple of years now. So he's experienced, you could say. And he worked as a photographer for the Daily Bugle in this universe. And he's now working as a lab assistant for Doc Ock. So yeah. I think this iteration of Spider-Man really takes in the science-y aspect of him.
It definitely does.
How could I not talk about it? The quips. The Spider-Man jokes. These are what makes a real good
Oh,
Spider-Man.
yes. Oh.
And Spider-Man PS4, he got the jokes. He got the laughs. He got the jigs.
I don't know. Tom Holland, he might take the cake a little bit just because I think his jokes are better than
Tom.
Tobey
Well, that's
Maguire.
just the script.
Yeah, it is the script, but Tobey Maguire, he is the serious behind Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tom Holland does have the quips, man.
He
I
is.
forgot that the quips absolutely make Spider-Man and Iron Man. If they don't have the quick, witty humor, man, you're not Spider-Man, bro.
But yeah, Spider-Man PS4, he got the quips. My man got the girl. We see him. He had already broken up with MJ. She trashed, but at least he got the girl in the end. And in this universe, we got Miles Morales. I said this before, but there's a Miles Morales game coming out in less than a month. And I'm about to be on top of that. I still got to pre-order it. I'm probably going to do that tonight while you're playing. And they're going to tag team it up, man. Pause. And
wow. Bro, come on.
This is going to be the duo of the century, man.
Wait, are they going to fight?
No.
Oh.
But Spider-Man, he's going to be Peter Parker, he's going to be teaching Miles the ropes.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
And they're going to go at it with a bunch of villains, man.
Oh, yeah.
But with all of that, Spider-Man PS4, it had a great engaging story. He went up against majority of the Sinister Six. We got new villains like Mr. Negative.
Yeah, Mr. Negative's new. So what is your favorite type of Spider-Man fighting scene? Because we have Spider-Man who's just completely encapsulated within Manhattan and fighting villains here and there. We have Spider-Man. Oh, well, that's Spider-Man with no help. We have Spider-Man also with no help fighting the Sinister Six, which it's insane that Spider-Man could take on 6 villains, 6 of the best villains in the universe. Like, that's crazy. We also have Spider-Man with some help, like his Spidey team with Gwenpool and Miles Morales. Yeah. Or we have the Spider-Man who's working with the Avengers, who's fighting alongside Doctor Strange sometimes. That's Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So there's so many different Spider-Man fighting types.
Spider-Man's cool. And he's like very strong and useful, but oftentimes like when he's working with the Avengers, his abilities get overshadowed by like Thor, who's summoning lightning, Iron Man, who's sending laser beams.
But he somehow keeps up, man.
He does keep up, but he's not getting the spotlight as much as I'd like him to, like in Avengers and Infinity War and Endgame. So I'd have to say Solo Spidey gets it for me, man.
Okay.
Because how much of a beast you got to be to take on 6 villains, sometimes coming at you at all the same time, just like as a nerd. Like, this dude didn't even learn no martial arts. Yeah, he got powers, but he still didn't know really how to fight. He just street brawling with super strength.
He is street brawling, bro, because it looks like he's doing like some karate stuff. Like, it looks like he's like Neo from the Matrix and downloaded the ability to kung fu fight. But man, he's a special dude. He's a special character
coming at you, and one of those dudes got 6 arms himself, Doc Ock. Like, it's just Spider-Man going at it himself, all the while beating up these dudes, like webbing them into each other and freaking throwing out jokes at the same time. That's peak Spider-Man.
The only other superhero across all universes that I can think of that faces that type of solo pressure, and this is in a completely different side of the superhero realm.
Oh,
Batman.
Nah,
going
that's
against
a bad dude, and he got no powers.
Going against Riddle, Two-Face, Penguin, Joker, the all-time greatest villain of all time in Joker. Like, we weren't supposed to talk about Batman on this episode, but Batman is a cold dude. Like,
Death Battle did one of these. This is a YouTube channel that pits
my favorite
pits characters in pop culture against each other. They did Spider-Man versus Batman, and I think Batman may have won that one, but let's do our own death battle here. Spider-Man versus Batman. Off the bat, I got to go with Spidey. And this isn't with like any cosmic powers or anything, just classic New York Spider-Man.
Yeah.
With some gadgets. I'll give him some gadgets because, Batman got some gadgets. What about you, man?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to keep going. No. Just to be a contrarian, because part of me wants to pick Spider-Man too, but Batman is such a tactician. I don't even know if that is a word, but he's so tactical. Tactician, yeah. Tactician. He's so tactical, and how he maneuvers. Like I think. Now, if it's just a straight up fight, like they randomly meet up each other, Batman has no time to prepare. Spider-Man takes the cake. But if this is like in how the Batman versus Superman movie, like they knew they were gonna fight.
Yeah.
Like if Batman gets time to prepare, he's gonna pick you apart.
Yeah.
He's like the Patriots. He's like Bill Belichick. Like he's going to find a way to pick you apart. And I think Batman will take the cake in that regard.
All right. So, yeah, this is a hard what if. Let's say Batman has had time to prepare. But we also know that Spider-Man has the mantra of no killing people. I don't think Batman can really agree with that because he'd be breaking dudes' legs.
Oh, but he doesn't kill anybody. Batman never kills. Batman doesn't kill. Both of them don't
He
kill.
basically does, putting them to the edge of death like that, breaking their legs.
Oh, he ruins their lives, but
breaking
he
their
doesn't kill.
tendons, making their leg bend up to their collarbone.
Yeah.
But, seeing maybe Batman has the time to prepare and Spider-Man breaks this. Spider-Man in the comics, he's only killed one time. I think this is because he was mind controlled or something.
Batman
but
as
he
well.
used all of his strength, and he literally punched a dude's head off.
God. Yeah, no, this is freakish.
So we've never seen Spider-Man at his greatest strength and abilities, but given these removal of constraints, I still think Spider-Man could I still think Spider-Man can win. Let me keep going with Spidey.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree that comics, and this goes along with superhero comics, Star Wars comics. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I feel like the comics are, even though it's more convenient to watch the movie, and I've watched more shows than comics, the comics are better just because they show the full extent of people's powers.
Yeah.
So like, the fact that like they never showed Spider-Man's super strength being that great to being able to punch somebody's head off. Like, gosh, man, we could talk about superheroes for. There's so many different facets, man. I love superheroes, man. Like, who do you think is the best villain in the Spider-Verse?
Probably Green Goblin.
Oh, okay.
And
Which one?
There.
Wait. Because Green Goblin and because one's Harry. Harry is what?
No, I'm talking about
His dad.
Yeah, his dad.
What is Harry? If Harry's not Green Goblin, what do they call Harry?
Hobgoblin.
Huh?
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. Yeah, Hobgoblin. Yeah.
But I don't know if in the Ultimate series of comic line for Spider-Man, this is where Miles Morales was like originally introduced. This is his primary universe. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man's dead. Peter Parker, that man got killed
by
Green Goblin.
Oh, okay.
And in this universe, Green Goblin has like fire abilities too. So I say like maybe other than Kraven, because Kraven's almost killed Spider-Man multiple times.
Oh yeah, Kraven's cold.
But Green Goblin, he's the only one to actually have done it. He actually killed Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And bro, that was a sad comic line. Like that might probably be the best Spider-Man, the Ultimate comic line. But yeah, I'm still gonna stick with PS4. But yeah, Green Goblin.
Well, I mean, I thought in the Ultimate. Oh wait, so that's the one where he got. I thought that was the one where he got killed by the Sinister Six. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Because I remember in one Ultimate comic that he reached the end of his life, or maybe this was Amazing, but I'm pretty sure it was Ultimate. He reached the end of his life, and Mary Jane and Aunt May were both there. We went this whole time without talking about Aunt May, the absolute goat.
The goat.
And I like old Aunt May. I know there's a new young sexy Aunt May. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know why they did that.
I'm not complaining.
Hey. But yeah, Aunt May. But back on to the best villain thing. That's pretty smart. And I was gonna say Doc Ock, just because like in the newest animation, Doc Octopus was able to basically like immerse himself within the internet,
right.
And like he like switched bodies with Peter Parker, like that type of.
Oh yeah, he did that.
Yeah,
Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah. So Superior Spider-Man. He was able to download his consciousness into a computer and then use this type of like soul extraction and extracted Spider-Man's soul and implanted him, downloaded his consciousness into the computer, and Doc Ock took over Spider-Man's body.
Low key,
that's dangerous.
Doc Ock might be the greatest because in the comics, like in the main line of Spider-Man comics, like in the main universe, it's like the Amazing Spider-Man, and for like nearly 100 chapters, Spider-Man was Doc Ock.
Oh, so
like,
that happened in the comics too.
Yeah, like Peter Parker, and like he was absent for 100 chapters. He was just in his subconscious, and Doc Ock like took over his life. He made Parker Industries.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what Parker Industries came. Because
Doc Ock made Parker Industries.
I always knew
that
about Parker Industries.
Peter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Doc Ock, although he took over his body,
I have to give it to Doc Ock.
Yeah, I didn't know Doc Ock created Parker Industries.
Because this man's not only a villain that will take your life, he will create a life for you.
He made a life.
He made the multi-million-dollar business. No, billion-dollar business for Peter Parker.
Yeah, Parker Industries is synonymous to like Microsoft.
Yeah, bigger than Microsoft.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
All right, so are we ready to move on?
Yeah, man, that 3 Spider-Man movie about to be insane. About to be my favorite movie of all time.
Yes, sir. Last topic of the day. Debate time.
Debate time.
And I'm hungry, so I want to get through this topic as quick as possible. You know what? I might go out and get me some food.
Should have brought yourself a snack like me.
Yeah, I might go get me some food after this because we haven't really talked about it. We haven't really embraced our culture enough on this podcast. We haven't been doing a service to the black community. And you know what? Not even the black community, man, because this is something that is racially, like,
ambiguous.
Blind. Yeah, ambiguous. Like, this goes across everybody, man. This hits every single person other than vegetarians and vegans and pescatarians in their soul. Drums versus flats. Take it away, Emery.
Drum roll, please. Drums.
Okay. Talk to me.
There ain't no way. First of all, the bone in a wait, did I say drums?
Yes.
What were the choices?
Drums versus flats.
Oh crap.
Pick one.
My bad, flats.
My bad. Hit another rope-a-dope, bro. What's going on? All right, then why are flats the best?
Bro, I'm gonna give you some real imagery. If you on the freaking audio podcast,
I know what he's about to say,
bless
bro.
your ears. The way that you can just succulently rip and peel that smooth white chicken with the coated with the breading from the fried chicken. Just suck it off the meat.
You a wild boy.
Suck it off the bone.
Stop.
And take in that drizzling, black-filled yumminess. Ooh, it's inexplicable.
What's going on?
It's inexplicable.
Nah,
that's
man.
some good chicken right there.
It is some good chicken, man. So you're going with flats. Well, Emery hit another rope-a-dope on me. I was about to argue for flats, but I'll try to.
Man, you don't need to. Let's just love flats together. It's
I love
something
flats,
that brings
man.
Men together.
I love flats, bro. I love flats. I'm a little bougie, to be honest, because, man, sometimes I don't even see the purpose in the bone. Like, the boneless, bro.
Oh.
I just be popping them things. Like,
I thought you were saying you ate the bones.
No. Sometimes, like, now the type of chicken, it's definitely a difference. Like, the type of chicken with the bone is slightly better. But the boneless, man, like, me just popping them things in, whatever sauce I like, bro. You don't even have to do work, bro. You just sit back and catch the itis.
That's a whole lot of meat.
You a wild boy, but that's chicken, man. Chicken. You know what? Okay. Since we're agreeing on chicken, well, wait. What would you say is your favorite food? Let's just debate this. Since we need a true debate on this, we're gonna both put out our favorite foods, and then we're gonna compare the two. So, what's your favorite food?
Well, I have 2 foods that stand at the penultimate tippy top of my list.
Mm-hmm.
Alfredo, may it be shrimp, steak, or chicken.
God, come on. God dang.
What?
We can't keep agreeing here, bro.
Oh.
No, it's fine.
Bad.
Keep going.
And grilled cheese. Yeah, it's a
grilled cheese.
Sorry.
Okay.
On to you.
So, mine. And even though he said shrimp Alfredo is my second favorite. But well, my third favorite. But hey, there is nothing better. Shout out to my Nana, man. There is nothing better than that nice Southern. Hey, Northern people from up there in New York, the team on my hat. Y'all don't know about this, but that Southern mac and cheese, man. Lord have mercy on me, my soul. Mac and cheese takes the absolute cake. When you got that gristle, you got the little burnt cheese, you got the edges. I'm a corner guy. I like the little crispiness and then the ooey gooey mac and cheese.
You ain't never lie, homie.
I'm not lying right now because mac and cheese takes the cake.
That junk make me go.
Yay, yay. Mac and cheese, man. We can't even debate food. There's too many good foods out here, man. Yeah. Now I know why American...
Oh, I can. You can't? Let me get into why. Oh, grilled cheese? Ooh.
Why is grilled cheese better than mac and cheese?
Now, not to be sexist.
Oh, God.
But this...
Dang. That's how you come in? You can't introduce a...
Not to be sexist, but this is a man's world.
Oh, God.
And the only dish worthy of serving to a man is a grilled cheese.
You are a wild boy.
All right, grilled cheese. It can come in many, many different forms, more than meets the eye. You might just be thinking, oh, this man likes white bread that's been toasted with some American cheese in the middle. But what you don't know is there are so many different cheeses out in the world. Goat cheese. I don't like it.
God,
but
why is that the first cheese you named?
Goat cheese.
LeBron
mozzarella. Cheese? Bro, come on, bro. Mozzarella. Parmesan. My favorite.
Yo, who in the world is eating a grilled Parmesan cheese sandwich?
Don't knock it till you try it.
You gotta be sick, bro.
The Mexican 3-cheese blend from Publix.
What's going on with you, son?
There's so many cheeses out there, and with that, so many dishes that you can make.
I'm a provolone and a extra sharp cheddar guy. I'm an extra sharp and provolone guy.
I ain't gonna knock your cheese. Those are mighty fine cheeses, may I say so myself.
Might cut the cheese right here.
Many different, those are just individual cheeses. There are infinite amount of cheese combinations. And you don't got to go with just white bread. You can slap it on some rye bread. You can slap it on some whole grain wheat bread.
You're trying to make the best food. Why are you putting on whole grain wheat? Put it on that Italian.
And let me not talk about how you toast that bread.
Okay.
You could toast it in some wine sauce. I don't know why'd you do that, but maybe it's good. You could toast the bread in some butter. That's my favorite. And maybe you could even coat the top of the bread with some sprinkles of cheese. Get you that little extra crunch in there. He just tell you, cheese. That's it. Go ahead.
Cheese is great, and I mean both of our dishes contain cheese, but man, ain't nothing taken away from that Southern mac, man. That mac and cheese, like I said earlier, the edges, those crispy edges with the ooey gooey cheese in the middle.
You might have to edit out my comment before.
I might. I don't know. The infinite amount of cheese.
You don't know.
In the middle, like you were talking about before, mac and cheese. You know what? I mean, we're basically, in theory, talking about the same thing. It's just whether we like bread or noodles better. But I don't know, man. I got to go with mac and cheese. But since this is just going to be an all-out food debate, man, let's move on to best dessert. Take it away, my brother.
Well, this is hard.
Oh, I can go right now.
I
can go right now. I don't even have to hesitate. No hesitation. The American pastime. Apple pie, baby.
Oh.
There ain't nothing better than some apple pie with some nice little cinnamon crisps on the top. But I can take apple pie in many forms. I can take the crisp apple pie form. I can take the little, like the, I guess, I don't know what type of, I don't even know what to call it, but the regular apple pie. And I can have apple pie with some ice cream on top. You know, I can have apple pie cold, warm, room temperature. It's piping hot, freezing cold, frozen.
Apple pie is versatile.
Apple pie takes the cake.
Speaking of cake, vanilla. Cake.
Just vanilla cake?
Classic vanilla.
God, what happened to pound cake?
Bruh, vanilla cake's way better than pound cake. Shut your mouth.
Oh.
That's how the pound cake make me feel.
Oh no,
Let's talk about vanilla
you're hurting
cake.
my heart right now, man. Ooh,
I'm
buddy.
not talking about that cheap, that super soft
sponge.
icing either.
Okay.
Because you gotta have somewhere in between the hard icing, because hard icing's disgusting.
No, I love hard icing, bro. I ain't gonna hold
What?
you. I like that tough icing, bro.
Nah, bro, but that soft icing that just slithers down your throat like a
Oh my
snake.
God! Stop.
Disgusting. I can't do it. So I have to get somewhere in the middle. That little golden icing right there.
Yo, so are you a corner or middle guy when it comes to like
Cake?
brownies and anything?
I don't like chocolate, so I don't really.
Oh
eat
yeah,
brownies.
you don't like chocolate, but
Yeah, hot take. But I'm a corner guy, man.
okay, yeah, okay, never mind.
Let me actually put this out there. I like most of my food a little burnt.
Everybody should
Not
like
too
corner.
burnt, but giving it that extra crunch.
Yeah, no, that crunch is
It's
goated.
bombastic, fantastic,
Oh yeah, facts.
elastic,
Okay, no, you're just saying stuff with
casket.
casket. All this food we're talking about might put us in a casket.
No cap.
God, dog.
Clogging up my arteries and crap.
Word.
But you can't go wrong with vanilla. That's the premier flavor of anything. Ice cream, cake. I don't know what else has vanilla, but yeah.
I don't know. Some vanilla cake just be too spongy to me. I can get apple pie from anywhere.
It don't take much to please me.
Okay.
I'm a simple guy with simple wants.
No, man.
It doesn't only apply to food.
Bro, there's so many different food topics we could. Oh wow. Well, I think it's about time we wrap this thing up, man. Thank y'all so much for listening.
Give me a beat, real quick.
Nope. No.
Real quick.
No.
It's a rite of passage now. We're not ending this episode until I get a freestyle.
Last time I tried to do a beat, you did another rope-a-dope on me, and you made me look foolish.
But that was because of the what we were talking about that episode.
Okay, fine.
I want to give the people my flames. We skipped out on it for a week. I know y'all been wanting this.
Got to give the people.
Prep your ears. Episode 6, and I'm sitting on some big sticks. Yeah, and I'm getting big racks. Yeah, but I don't want no tax, so I'ma skip them. Just like Trump did. I'ma eat them. Just like chicken. Yeah, it's soft. Yeah, it's icy. Just like how I like my vanilla ice cream and my frosting on my vanilla cake and that mac and cheese. It is so cheesy, just like my grilled cheese. And we're about to end the episode because you know that we are big kings. We are black dudes and we and it's
God damn. Oh my gosh. Hey, yo. I don't know when. Oh gosh. Emery has made this episode editing hell for me. But, God, I don't care anymore. Man. Oh gosh. We cannot end an episode by saying stuff like that. This has turned from the Enlightened Brothers to Enlightened Brothers After Dark. Ever since we started talking about food, bro, we started getting more and more flagrant. But in all seriousness, man, I wanted to say this at the end of the podcast. But whether I'm a positive person, but whether I feel like my day is going great or whether I feel like my day is not going as well, man, this has been an absolute life changer. This has been an all-out refuge for me. And I just want to thank each and every viewer for allowing me and my co-host to do what we do, man. For y'all to listen to us, every time I see a view, every time I see a like, every time I see a subscriber, my heart jumps, man. It's absolutely great. And this has just been a life-changing experience. And I just want to say again, I love y'all.
Appreciate you guys, man. Words cannot express, like we said at the last episode, words cannot express these feelings. But if you know, you know.
Real one, man. Thank y'all. Peace.
Appreciate it.